Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be doing a deck profile for a Speedroid Burning Abyss deck, and it does go pretty fast and it can OTK, and that's essentially the goal of this deck, is to try to OTK your opponent, because you can use things like Universe and it's kind of stun your opponent, and then since they can't do anything if you happen to make the right card. You know, there are certain cards like the F-Zero is pretty good against the Cosmos. Not that they're too relevant right now in the TCG, but keep in mind, maybe later in the future they'll get some more support, and this is still an excellent card. But anyways, like I said, it is the OCG, so you know we don't have some of these cards. Some of the cards are at 3, like Compulse is at 1 for us. But for the most part, we can kind of swap in and out some cards, and you guys can try out other things if you would like to. I think it's a pretty interesting deck, though, so I wanted to showcase it for you guys. Keep in mind, the ban list could be right around the corner. We don't know the next TCG ban list, but I feel like maybe if they put Tour Guide up or someone else goes up, maybe we can try this out here in the TCG. So anyways, let's go and finally check out the deck profile, and we'll make some comments on it. So first off, 3 copies of Seer, 3 copies of Speedroid Terratop, 2 Farfa, 3 Graph, 3 Tour Guide, 3 Skarm, 1 Takon Tomborg, 1 Speedroid Tri-Eyes Dice Illuminati Confirm, 3 Maxi, 3 Twin Twister, 3 Mass Change Second, 2 Storming Mirror Force, 2 XYZ Universe, 1 Breakthrough, 3 Compulse, 3 Solemn Notice, 1 Judgment, and 1 Warning. For the extra deck, he's got 1 Dante, the Fusion, 2 Master Hero Danklaw, 1 Virgil, 1 CXYZ Coach Lord Ultimate Rainer. Pretty interesting card. At first I was like, what? But we'll get to like how you can. Oh, it's basically this card over here. Then we got Beatrice, the Eternal Lady, the Phantom Knights of the Broken Sword, 1 Totem Bird, 1 Super Quantum Mecha Beast Magna Pulse, or Grand Pulse here in the TCG is what they're calling it, and then 3 Dante, then F-Zero Utopic Future. Then for the side deck, he ran 3 Veiler, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Harpy's Feather Duster is too slow in the game to play. Look at that, that's so crazy. Anyways, next up, 3 Creature Swap, 1 Dark Hole, 2 Vortex, 1 Mirror of the Ice Barrier, 1 Storming Mirror Force, and then 3 Typhoons. So that's it for the deck profile. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about it. Now, I remember when Burning Abyss first came out, and it was literally like just like a Dante spam fest, but now you gotta try to do other things in order to be able to compete with the meta. So what I like with this guy's deck idea was that he would side a deck into just trying to OTK his opponent as quickly as possible, so he can like go Terra Top, Creature Swap, like do all kinds of little shenanigans here. Because if you guys don't know what this does, I guess we can kind of go over their effects. So they have a little bit of utility, because keep in mind with Mass Change Second, you can discard 1 card, and if you want to, you can discard some of the, well, specifically the dice over here, the Tri-Eyed Dice. During your opponent's next turn, you can banish the card from your graveyard to get the next attack. It's kind of like a Necro Gardener. He is also level 3, plus he is a tuner, and when this card, is normal or special, you get to add 1 speed monster from your deck to your hand, except for itself. But there's a little bit of like interesting utility, and I kind of like that. Now keep in mind, when you're going for these Dantes, well, when you try to make it through using another like Burning Abyss, if you control a monster that's not a Burning Abyss, the monster does die, so you have to pay attention to that. I've seen, you know, some people just mess up on that, and there is some like kind of conflicts with the deck that I've noticed, because I'm like, oh, it's cool, you can special summon this, and one of the other guys has a restriction where you control wind monster, you can special summon it, you contribute this card to special summon 1 Speedroid tuner monster from your deck, but you also can't special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for wind monsters. From the extra deck, nothing is wind except for the Totem Bird, so there is some downsides, but Totem Bird is a pretty good card. Totem Bird's effect is that during either player's turn when a spell trap card is activated, you attach 2 material from this card and you get the activation to and destroy it. This card loses surrender attack while it has no material. So I like that. It's okay. It just negates one of the pendulums, which, you know, it can be pretty advantageous. And in addition to that, maybe if you happen to be able to get a Dark Law, because if you can special summon this, go for like another card, go for something, and then you still have your normal summon, right? Tour Guide's at 3 in the OCG, so that helps out quite a bit, obviously. Then you can Tour Guide into something else, and then if you're able to just maybe make a Dark Law plus have Totem Bird turn 1, that can be really advantageous, because that can make your opponent go neg 2. And if you can combine that with perhaps like a Twin Twister, which makes it so I know macro changes game state. I'm not positive if this card also applies the same game mechanics. You guys can let me know in the comment section below, but I'm pretty sure that they would just get banished anyways, because I know they go face up in the extra deck, but it changes the game state, so Yeah, let me know if I'm correct on that. But Twin Twister is actually really relevant in the game. And it's going to be really relevant in the TCG as well. But if you can combine like a macro or just any way to like not let your opponent get back their pendulums, sometimes you can win because they don't have enough to complete the scale and some of the monsters, and that's really what you want to do against that deck. But this deck can go pretty fast. I mean, if you guys have played against Burning Abyss, you understand like they can go, if they happen to have like, you know, just a mediocre hand, they just like throw out multiple stuff from the extra deck, specifically like Dante's and stuff. And then if they get lucky, they hit the right cards. Heck, dude, some of these, like this card over here, you get extra free utility out of it. Then there's this card, XYZ Universe. That's pretty cool. I like this card a lot. I like how it's just this access to like a lot of different things. So this card's pretty cool. You get to target 2 face-up monsters on the field, send both of them to the graveyard. Let's throw some 1 XYZ monster from your extra deck, except for a number monster whose rank is equal to or less than the combined of those 2 XYZ monsters. And if you do attach this card to it as material, and then if you activate this card, your opponent takes no further damage this turn, but you obviously activate it during their turn, so then, you know, you go to your turn, you can use whatever thing that you're bringing out with that effect. I really like this card. It's so good. There is a DeeDee card. It's, oh dang, I wish I remember its name. I think it was this one. That's really good. So after this card is, wait, I think it's this one that you can bring out with it. But anyways, after this card is actually summoned from the rest of the turn, all other cards and their effects cannot be activated on the field, and other cards' effects on the field are negated. I'm pretty sure this is the one that, yeah, it's the King Kali Yuga. This card can completely destroy certain decks. A lot of people try to bust this out, and your opponent just has to, like, scoop, because this card is, it's just really strong. And I'm pretty sure they have this. I don't know. This card is really cool if you guys can make use of it in any deck, well, in combination with the XYZ Universe. It's a really fantastic card. But I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you guys think this deck is pretty good? How would you adjust it for the TCG? Obviously, things like, you know, Solemn Judgment and Compulse are really easy to take out and, you know, run other traps. If you want to, heck, Bottomless, I think I like Bottomless personally more than Compulse. With everyone playing Pendulums now, if they go Pendulum for 4 cards, you're just like Bottomless all your cards, and then sometimes you can just instantly win off of that. Compulse, interesting enough, you know, it's still seeing play. I feel like it's just a little bit too slow in the game. Here in the TCG, we see very few players trying to run Compulse. A lot of players just favor, like, if they're just going to get rid of one thing, you'd rather just negate its effect immediately, specifically like the Skullcrabat Joker. Once that card gets summoned and it gets its effect off, you can just sometimes lose from that card. But this card is pretty awesome. It's like Lavalval Chain, but it works very well with the Burning Abyss archetype. Anyways, like I said, let me know your thoughts below. What can you swap in and out here for the TCG? Obviously, we need this card. This card, by the way, is pretty important. I wouldn't really recommend trying this deck out without this card, but you can still definitely OTK, like I mentioned before, with like things like Universe. You know, obviously during your opponent's like turn, you activate this. Then you can go and play really aggressive with things like Mass Change Second, and obviously Dante. Depending on what you hit, you can do extra shenanigans. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have some fun trying out this deck. Obviously, you're gonna have to be playing it online, or maybe the Dueling Network. You can test it out, and let me know what you guys' bad matchups are. Like I said, if you can throw out a Master Hero Dark Law and like be able to control the game, you can still play that game. People still play heroes in the OCG, and they can still once in a while do things with it. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Been your boy Will Smith, signing out.